Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Kia ora, and welcome here to my broadcast number 68. Now, I do apologise for all those that turned up to my broadcast last night at 6:30 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. Uh, I've been trying to take my daily medication at a time so it doesn't knock me out at particular times like my broadcasting time. However, I totally misjudged it yesterday, and I had taken my medication late in the afternoon, which kept me sleeping till quite some time into the evening of the day. Good evening to you, good time. Now, this broadcast is way out of my time, but I can feel my medication kicking in, and I didn't want to miss my broadcast. So I've actually checked to see if there's any broadcasts before me or after me. And I do have a time span where no spots have been taken. So I feel quite comfortable doing my broadcast right now. So I thought, I better do it now because I can feel myself getting tired and the medication wearing on. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to come on now. Kia ora, Bitcoin Scott. Thank you for coming along to my broadcast. Just explaining how out of the unordinary this is because I've taken my medication and I can feel myself drifting off to sleep. So I wanted to get my broadcast done before that happens. So I'm Julz Paekau, and I'm here in Auckland, New Zealand, and I am a trusted seller with my send button on, and I'd like to address the TBC, the Billion Coin community, as well as those who may be their first time here in a broadcast. So today was a defining day for me as they have finally mapped out the treatment I will undertake for the next 6 months. And it will include a lot of chemo, which will start first thing tomorrow. And all the usual, I've been through this before. So I'm not a stranger to the happenings of cancer. I have bone cancer, and my bones have been getting very, very sore over the last few weeks, which told them that it was time to start treatment. But hey, I'm so happy because this is my 10 years and, well, 9.5 years in remission. And so to them, I've done brilliantly. And I'm grateful that I've done brilliantly. Good evening, Dr. Joe Stevens. Thank you for coming along to my unscheduled broadcast. And so I've been trying to avoid going down their path, but however, that's the path they're going to take for me over the next 6 months. So I guess I'm going to eventually lose my voice as well as my hair, but don't worry, I still got the technique of wrapping my head up, but when my hair starts to fall out, I'm just going to get it all done bald. I get sick of, trying to flick this hair into place and flick that hair into place. I'll just get it all cut off, and I did that before, so it's not a problem to me. And so yeah, that will all commence tomorrow. So from here on in, my broadcast could be quite random because depending on the medication, as soon as I feel like I'm not going to be of this world per se, I'm just going to jump on there and do my broadcast. So I hope GW doesn't mind. I mean, as long as I'm doing my broadcast, I guess that should be the main thing. But I do like to let him know. I do like to let GW know when I'm going to do my broadcast. But he's happy with that. He's been very good with me, and he knows that my broadcasts will be random. So I'm quite happy I've got him in my corner, so to say, and so yeah, uh, so I've been getting in touch with the majority of my team now, making sure that they're all migrated, and for those that haven't, I've been able to help a couple, not all of them. My team are quite aware of what's happening to me, but I try to be there as much as I can. And I actually have a presentation that I put off that was meant to happen tomorrow because of the starting of my chemotherapy. I probably won't be able to attend many presentations, but in saying that, I'm happy to Zoom. I'm happy to Zoom if I be laying in bed, as long as I got my faculties about me and I'm not talking kaka, well, then I should be okay. But I'll know that, if I feel I can't give value at that time or moment, I will definitely not even, I won't waste your time in listening to somebody babbling on. But I definitely want to be able to get my broadcasts done. So missing out last night, and I saw a few people arrived at my broadcast. So once again, I'm very sorry about that. And I was even going to try and do a midnight one, but then I needed to rest up so I could be at the 2:00 send button meeting. But I'm very happy to have caught up with what's on the blog. So I'm just going to go over and have a look because there's a few things that I had missed out on. So I just want to go through some of them, if you wouldn't mind, and I'll just share my screen. I've actually got a few things lined up. And the first one I wanted to go through was Dan Lutz. It was an awesome meeting, although it seemed like no sooner than it started, it had finished. But and then we had a bit of a chuckle for the word of the day. I think only one person spelt the word out right, and that was you, Mr. Joe Stevens. Got the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious all typed up, and that was quite funny that he had chosen, because really put some people. Hey, are you kidding me? So that was good. That it ended up with the words super. And so, and then only to get over there, and there's no send button link to put the word in. So that took just a wee while. All Dan had to do was enter the word into his, and it popped up. So everybody was happy after that. But yeah, it seemed like sooner started the meeting and then it was over. So and so the broadcasters now. I know we've all had our talk about what the broadcasters are getting now, and what I want to focus on is the difference in the broadcasters as opposed to those that are not broadcasting, because it's far in between that. The broadcasters are getting 1,000 times more. Now, here we have the broadcaster cookie rewards. Now, everybody who comes in will get the 25,000 cookies reward. And, now we've got all these new numbers, and but all saying the same thing. You're going to get your 25,000 cookies, and then you can redeem them in November. But look at the difference when it comes to the meetings. Now, if you've got your send button on, but you're not broadcasting, this is the difference. If you're broadcasting, the meetings mean a million cookies to the broadcaster, as opposed to somebody who's got their send button on and is not broadcasting. So here we have, you're only getting 1,000 cookies. So look at the big difference there. And I would have thought that this would be enough incentive for somebody to want to become a broadcaster. Now, when you make your $100 worth purchase of TBC, look at that difference. 100 million, it's one TBC, as opposed to 100,000 cookies. And the referrals are exactly the same in the broadcast. But to be at a send button meeting and be a regular broadcaster, wow. I would like to think that 3 million people want to jump on the bandwagon and fill those spots in. But as yet, it hasn't happened yet. And so, you can't help but display this area because although the broadcasters that are there now are doing an excellent job, the need to fill that area up is paramount. Now, I'm just going to go and take a look. This is today's broadcast, and not too bad, but we still got those big gaps. Pretty consistent from the mornings. In fact, pretty good. The mornings are always the best. Well, the mornings here in New Zealand. This is what I've got it on New Zealand time, so the beginning of the day always looks pretty good because you have the likes of Mary Ann Murphy and James and Mom's Magnet and the voice of TBC and Bitcoin Scott and GW. They do their broadcasts at the top half of the morning as far as New Zealand's concerned. And then, pretty consistent. And it's usually the tail end of the day where we tend to have some pretty wide gaps. But, with the opportunity also on the backup side, that's always there. So it's unfortunate because it's such a great opportunity. And in saying that, when you go and check exactly what TBC allow the people who are doing the broadcasts, I mean, look, you've got your send button meetings where you get to put in the word of the day. Has it been taken down yet? Yeah, it's been taken down. But, you get $1 million for putting the word of the day in there. And, that's just one part of their reward. And then let's go and take a look at the rest. A few things. And then you've got, your slot to fill in for your tomorrow's broadcast. And then you've got your broadcaster leads, which is a massive thing for, what company have you ever been in where they give you the leads? Be it that it be across the board, even my address is in there somewhere. And I've gotten an email. Was actually from Darren Haywood. He had my email in his leads, but it's all in good because nobody's getting left out. So you've got the broadcast, and then you've got the broadcaster rewards. So the incentive to be a broadcaster couldn't be any more. You couldn't get anything more, and I believe there's still something more to come. even though all these things are available to you. And having the difference in the cookies area, the vast difference between a broadcaster and a basic broadcaster, you know, it's just unbelievable that people are not jumping on the bandwagon to do their broadcasts. So the other one I've got hooked up here is, are you a Tibetan or Kringler? Tibetans do broadcasts. Now, obviously, well, to me, I'm a Tibetan because I love doing my broadcast. And to be a Kringler, yes, that's good because you've gotten the free gift, and maybe you've even got your send button on. But be proactive, get into the mix, and jump on board and do a broadcast. Like I had mentioned several times, I'll just stop sharing this for now. I have mentioned several times that I'd be more than happy to help in that area. Joe Stevens, too many are too lazy and no time. Yeah, nah. We all have the same amount of time, but they're sitting back just waiting to ask stupid questions and for the broadcaster leaders to do all the work for them. Yes, you're exactly right. Good evening, Serenes. Thank you for coming along. Like I said, that my broadcast is totally at my own discretion, but I hope you understand. And yes, so uh, I'll certainly chat with you, Serenes, as soon as my broadcast is over. So let's just get, I think we all know somebody that we know should be doing a broadcast but hasn't got that, I don't know, need a kick up the nono, I think. and just to get them going. And I'm sure we all know somebody that needs that. Maybe not so much a kick up the nono, but that little hand, that helping hand. But yes, I do know. I do have a couple of team members that just keep messaging me and don't know how to do it. Regardless of the amount of times she's been into the. Even when Randy did his, he did an awesome. Went through the process of signing up your broadcasting to doing the broadcasting, and now he offers you to become a fully fledged broadcaster. And so, it's not as if there's any no information around about it, because every broadcaster is willing to help those who are willing to help themselves. And so, we've got to all get into the notion that doing your own broadcast is probably one of the vital parts of TBC that keeps us all informed, and we all learn something from each other's broadcast. And we are all of different minds. We don't all think the same thing. We don't all say the same thing. But the general mood is that we're all in that mode to move TBC ahead. We got to move ahead. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of a headache. And we've got to keep ourselves informed, and none could be any better than having a blog. Like I said, I've missed out on a couple of days, but you've got to go back and get into the blog and get into it, not just read it, digest it, take it apart to your own way of thinking, but to know that it's all in line with TBC admin's way of thinking, because they're very, they're not manipulative, but they have a way of getting you to understand what they're trying to say, what they're trying to put across to make things easy for all of us within the TBC community. And so it's how we perceive the information when we take it on. Because I know when I log off. Hello, Kenville Moody. Thank you for coming along to my broadcast. And we all have our own perceptions about what we should be telling others about TBC. And as long as we're all on the same page, and we've read and we've digested the blog, then we should be all saying the same thing. And so I believe that we can get to that, and slowly filling those spots up. But yes, it still is disappointing that we haven't had one full 48. I mean, doesn't matter if the backups are not full, but to see just that one side of 48 broadcasters, that would be awesome to see, because we can do it. We can absolutely do it. And to say that we haven't got enough members, well, that's all tickle. Anyway, so I just wanted to go over one more thing, and I'm just going to share my screen one more time. I won't bore you too long. And I wanted to go through this. This sums up what we are doing right. Billions of dollars of digital money will be distributed by the end of November 2018. Now look at the period we have from now till November the 30th. What a build-up there can be. Regardless of what you got in there now in your balance, the idea is to not sit on what you've got in your balance. You've got to learn to start trading peer-to-peer, or however you interact with a buyer and a seller, between the buyer and the seller. Get that TBC moving, because if you sit on it, it's not helping by you sitting on it, but start moving it around and get your new people in that come into TBC, how to build their back office with TBC, get their cookies building up. We've got we've got 5 months to build our cookies, and wow, what a treat that would be to finally have, because I think the majority of the broadcasters, their broadcasting rewards didn't go over. I know mine didn't, but that was okay, because I'd already had the bulk of my balance was quite substantial, so my broadcasting rewards are also quite substantial. So it's going to be a heck of a movement once that all gets moved over. Plus, my moving my TBC around. Now, I don't do purchases on a daily basis. I'll be honest with that. At the moment, I probably do 2 to 3 transactions a week. And I know that many people are doing that on a daily basis. But at the moment, it suits me fine. I'm actually moving like a snail these days. But There's no reason to still put the word out there, still interact with my people and new people, and I'm just taking on a little bit less than what I usually do. But believe you me, my broadcasts are very important to me. So I received a gift of over $2,000 in digital money. Cookie reward system allows you to both receive and share this gift. Now I came in when I received 100,000 Kringles when I first came into TBC, but at that time it was only about a hundred and something dollars at the time. But it was still something I got as a gift that I wouldn't have otherwise received from anybody. Not even all these um, programs that came across my laptop that I joined, that I jumped into. Ever expanding list of merchants accept this digital money worldwide. Well, we all know what's happening in the Philippines, and Michael Ilu and Doc Dan, they're doing brilliant jobs within their countries, and Nigeria is starting to move on merchants in their country. But you must be aware that there's a lot of merchants online that you have to take care, you have to be wary of, you know, um, do a full research on the people that you're going to do business with. I just seen one of a guy that was in TBC a while ago is starting to move around again, and I don't like seeing him. We are on a mission to end global poverty, starting with this gift. Instead of paying transaction fees forever, there is a $10 lifetime wallet fee. Get paid daily in any currency to assist us in our worldwide distribution. So let's come back here. So yeah, we've had a lot of busy people, and I'd like to think that we are gaining momentum. I think since we're now not seeing that daily interest. I'm not absolutely 100% sure about that. Um, but getting the free gift anyway, is still an incentive to build that. Yes, we do have 12,000 members here in New Zealand, and I keep saying I'd love to meet them. I probably know about 30 of them, and that's a far cry from the 12,000. So hopefully, many of those 12,000 will be getting an email from me or you, or some of the broadcasters that have chosen Darren Haywood, you know. Te Okatai, if you put down New Zealand, then I hope we can shed more light on those 12,000 people, because it would be wonderful to have a meet and greet just here in New Zealand. So I'd like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. To Kotai Williams, Bitcoin Scott. It's always a pleasure to have you guys along. TBC, Dr. Joe Stevens, Serene's, TBC Prayer Warrior. Thank you for coming along. Kenville Moody, thank you also for coming along. And if depending on my medication, if I feel like I'm not going to last till the time that I've booked, I will just jump on and do my broadcast. So I've booked slot number 38 on a daily basis, which is 6:30 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. And but if I feel I need to do it earlier, I will do it earlier. And I hope that you will, and I hope you have subscribed to my channel, and you've given me a thumbs up. So that'll be so happy. I'd be so happy. And thank you, Joe. I hope everything goes well. It was a good appointment with my specialist today, and I'm looking at having another stem cell transplant. So I know the procedure. So, I'm not going to get all teary about it because, second time round, isn't, as I was told, it's going to be a little bit harsher. But, you know, um, there's not much I can do. That's none of my business. My business is to get on with things. And so um, I hope that I can keep up with my broadcast. I mean, if I can't, I won't push myself to do it, but I hope that I can do it. So with that, guys, thank you so much for coming along. This is Julz and Paekau from Auckland, New Zealand. Uh, and I'll be happy to do my broadcast number 69 tomorrow. Fingers crossed. And I hope you will join me. So, like I said, I don't know what time. If my ting-a-ling starts ringing, well, then that's the time I'm going to be doing my broadcast. So, for now, have a great evening, day, morning, afternoon, whichever it is, wherever you are in the world, and I hope to catch up with you again. So, this is Julz and Paekau signing off for tonight. Ka kite.